Hello, folks. I have a very important information for you. And let me tell you, this is going to shake you. This is going to shake you deeply. So, are you ready for it? It is a complete truth. But watch after this only if you are ready. It is not for a weak hearted, it is not for a faint hearted. It is for one who can hold his strength, one who is able to know the truth and still keep in control. So, are you one of them? If you are weak hearted, then wait. Maybe this is not for you. If you are strong hearted, then stay. Maybe you are going to save your life as well as so many other lives you are going to save. This news is about a medical pharma industry. Now, as soon as you know something about medical pharma industry, you know there have been a lot of talks happening all over the world. This is not an India story; it is a global story. So there was an interview. There was an interview being done about a big pharma CEO. I can tell you the name, but probably telling the name is not a purpose here. But then this is. Let me tell you. I can give some idea. I will not give exact name. Yeah. So now this news is on politicaldig.com, or you can go to my Facebook page and watch my latest post done just before 20 minutes, only for you to go there and watch. So this news is about the big pharma CEO. He was interviewed and asked, as a boss of a biggest pharma company, what is your main goal? The interviewer was a very genuine person, and he was a socialist, and he wanted to know how much a big pharma is a big pharma companies, how much big pharma cares for the patient, cares for the sick, cares for health, cares for the healing of global sufferers. So they wanted to know how much this care of the patient is on their agenda. They say, see, we are a company. We are a company, not a social service platform. We as a company, we are listed on the stock market. When we are listed on the stock market, when we are listed as a public limited company on the share market, we have so many shareholders. And as a company, our prime responsibility is to look for the profits, to gain the profits for our shareholders. The first aim is not to help the sick. But this is unfortunately true, because if a company is listed in public sector in a stock market, and if they do not give profit to their shareholders, the company will close down. People will sell their shares and company will go bankrupt. Now nobody will want to see the company getting bankrupt. So there are so many things done to get more and more profits, raising prices and then quality control problems and launching some new products on some hypothetical things and so on and so forth. I need not focus on that, but I'm not against any company, because they are right. If they are a company, they need to take care of their shareholders. If they do not take care of their shareholders, they're actually committing a crime, if you look at the Companies Act. So the problem is the interest of the patient or the interest of the sick is not always equal to interest of the shareholder. Let me repeat it again. The interest of the sick is not always equal to the interest of the shareholder. Now, when these two interests clash, guess who wins? When these two interests clash, interest of shareholders will always win, because that is the company's primary responsibility. The shareholders have invested money. The shareholders have given money, invested money, supported company when they needed money in the bad times. Now it is company's responsibility to give them the profits. I'm sure everybody will not agree, But I'm also sure some who understands company act will always agree that the company have to generate more profits. Now I have Mr. Abhishek Doshi here. He himself works in stock market and he understands how important it is for a company to make profits. Mr. Anand Sethi is also there, and he also definitely understands that what is the role of a company generating profit for the shareholders. But here is the biggest problem. Although I'm not against any company, I am surely in favor of patients. And let me tell you, most of the time, I'm saying most of the time, the interest of the patient is not taken care of. Now, this is a bad news for you. This is a bad news for me. This is a bad news for all the sick all over the world, and also bad news for doctors who really care for the people, for the sick. There are so many things. If you want to earn more profits, there are so many things done which will never ever support a common man. This is dangerous, isn't it? Now, just example, suppose there is a molecule. This news talks about raising the price of a, let me tell you, raising the price of a newly acquired drug from 13 rupees 50 paisa. No, it is not rupees, it is dollars. From $13.50 a tablet, it was raised to $750 per tablet. Now, can you imagine 13 rupees a tablet, $13 a tablet to $750 a tablet? Are you seeing the raise? Recently, one of my patients is admitted in Delhi. I cannot tell you the name of the hospital, but he is being given the injection which is costing 80,000 rupees for a single injection to be taken every 15 days for unlimited period. I don't know the real price. I'm nobody to comment on the real price. But then if we see, look at this, can this be true? That the original cost of the injection, maybe just, these are figures written here. I'm just reading a news for you. You can go and see. You can watch it here. It is very clear. 13 rupees $50 to $750. Now tell me, this is not a drug which can give you your life. This is a drug which is just newly acquired by a company. And if you are paying $750 for a drug which anyway is not going to cure your disease, then how far it is the injustice on the patient. So whenever, guys, please remember, whenever profit versus people stand, profit always wins. And this is not a great news for you, because you are actually surrounded by the medicines supplied by the big pharma. Again, guys, let me clear you. Company have its own responsibilities. You cannot just blame the company and escape. What I will prefer is, rather than blaming any company, learn to take your own responsibility. Now, company is responsible for shareholders. It is fulfilling its responsibility, but you are responsible for your healthcare. You are responsible for delivering or getting the right healthcare for yourself. So why not take up the responsibility to find out the right treatment? If medicine, drug, or a pill is the right treatment, go ahead. But if it is not a right treatment, you cannot go ahead. You cannot sacrifice your whole life for the sake of the medicines. You cannot depend on medicines, because medicines have so many different intentions behind its pricing, behind its presence. There's so many things involved. But when you are sick, or when it comes to diseases, only very few things are involved. And let me tell you, they're very simple. I was going to talk today about diabetes. Somebody asked me to talk about diabetes, but I will be talking about diabetes tomorrow, because this is an issue which I I need to urgently. When it comes to the effect of the drug, there are so many things involved. There are so many kind of gimmicks and more. But when it comes to sickness and when it comes to diseases, you are lucky. There are only few things involved. They can be counted on the tip of the fingers. If there is any disease, first and foremost cause to look for is your inner tendency, that is your genetic tendency, genetic makeup. Second, the trigger, the biggest trigger for your genetic makeup and the inner tendency is your mind. And third, another one of the very powerful, very important trigger for many diseases is diet. In some cases, apart from this, one of the very common trigger nowadays is medicines. And I am talking about the officially prescribed medicines. Now, these themselves can be the important trigger to create diseases. Another important trigger which can be is a vaccine. Vaccines are in, I will say, very controversial frame right now. Few people say vaccines are great, they must be taken. Few people say vaccines are bullshit. But forget it, I'm not an extremist. What I want to say is that vaccines have been proved beyond doubt to interfere with your immunity and create so many diseases. Better avoid them. But it is not possible. I'm sure you will be saying it is not possible to avoid vaccines. I agree completely. It is not possible to avoid vaccines completely. But one thing is surely possible. If vaccines are responsible for creation of some kind of diseases, why not you use those medicines which can nullify the effects of vaccine, which can antidote the effects of vaccination? If you can follow just this one rule of involving all the causes in the cure, your health is going to be completely different. Genes or internal tendency, or you can call it immunity, then mind. Internet is creating some problem. Let me check it out. Oh, internet is giving problem. Just a minute, guys. Internet is creating problem. I think this is a bold message, and internet don't want to give this message to you. Hold on, please. I will try to connect it, and please be there if possible. I will be trying to connect.